Well, I was just saying that Asian men make up 2/3 of all the men on the planet. So when you say Asian men, it's basically a way of saying the media and everybody else saying we are basically too scared even to cover this story honestly.
Yeah, this is absolutely true, and it's a sort of euphemism that we're using up to cover. And I don't see how this is actually doing any service to the Muslim community. It's all been covered up because from the Home Office downwards, and this has been the case from the beginning. And what I've discovered, which has really horrified me, is that this is still going on. The Home Office is still covering up. And the Muslim community, I mean, certainly all the Muslims I know are horrified. They don't want to be sort of linked to these particular Muslims. We should remember that it was a Muslim, Nazir Afzal, who's chief prosecutor, who brought this all to light, who wanted this to be known and started the prosecutions. So we are not doing any favor to race relations and community relationships by covering up who's doing this. And in fact, I think we're promoting extremism because ordinary people hearing this are so appalled about what's happening to these poor little girls, and that they find that they're not going to find this on mainstream media. They're not going to find their MPs or anyone talking, or very few of their MPs or anyone talking about it. So they're going to be drawn to extremists, some, right-wing nutter who's saying, oh, yeah, I'm going to do something about it. So it's driving people to extremism by not having honest conversations.
Well, that's quite a sophisticated argument, Harriet. I'm not sure I'd entirely buy it, because to me, it seems slightly more obvious than this. I've met, quite a lot of these girls in Rotherham and not a lot, but enough of them in Rotherham, and I'm always amazed that there are no journalists beating a path to their door. There are no community spokesmen who want to take up their cause. Nobody holds candlelight vigils for all the girls who are gang raped day in, day out. Everybody's a victim now. Everybody's a victim. If you misgender someone on Twitter, you're a victim, and they go to the coppers, and the coppers send a SWAT team round to arrest the misgenderer. But we have girls being raped, and nobody cares about them. And I'm told, I'm on the Pakistani Muslim side of the equation, they're dismissed as, quote, you can see this in all the reports, there is dismissed as, quote, white slags. And on the, what one might call the indigenous population side of the thing, they're dismissed as, quote, unquote, Paki shaggers. So these girls have no champion. I can't understand what sort of country lets 12-year-old girls be gang raped and just say, that's just the way it is. What's the big deal?
No, I agree with you. I think it's shocking. And I think it's this, we saw the Me Too movement out for Weinstein's victims, holding, as you say, candlelit vigils and all of that. But the problem it's the wrong kind of perpetrator and the wrong kind of victim. I mean, the trouble is that the victims are white working class girls as opposed to middle class, and the perpetrators aren't white men of privilege, which is the favorite kind of perpetrator, not now. They are, the man who burnt poor little, I think it was Lucy Lowe, and her mother and her sister burnt them to death, was a Pakistani Muslim. And you're not allowed to have them as perpetrators. They are meant to be in the lexicon. They're meant to be the victims. So it's all so confusing and distressing that they just ignore it and move on, which I agree with you, I think is deeply shocking.